ICE will no longer be able to infiltrate our cities and our towns, using our police, our jails, or our law enforcement technology. We'll prohibit teachers and government workers from helping separate children from their families and other detentions. Local law enforcement will only cooperate when a real crime is involved. We'll stop ICE from violating the sanctity of homes, schools, libraries, community centers, and other sensitive locations.
4 people lost their lives in New York, and Hochul's response to this is to double down on the sanctuary policies anyway.
An illegal immigrant accused of a deadly arson attack in New York City last month could be back on the streets thanks to sanctuary policies. And those policies are about people in this situation as victims being less important than the people who commit them. The fire that happened there killed 4 people, including a 3-year-old child, and it hurt 7 others. Prosecutors charged the suspect from Mexico with 8 counts of murder and arson. And now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul is trying to push those sanctuary laws to go even further to the left. Yesterday, she put forward several new anti-ICE proposals on top of the ones that she had already pushed earlier this year.
Right.
And they would prevent police from cooperating with federal immigration agents, banning ICE agents from wearing masks, and expanding areas where ICE cannot go. No-go zones for ICE?
Local cops should be focused on local crimes. And this is something that is supported by many in law enforcement who want to make sure that they can focus on the communities where the taxpayers are paying their salaries to do their jobs to protect them. Not doing ICE's job. I just want to have more protections in place that I think are long overdue. So I'm anxious to get this done.
Okay, guys, hold on. So what's interesting about this statement that she's making here is a couple of days ago, I had blatantly said, I don't know, bro, I think Kathy Hochul is like slightly better than, Brandon Johnson or like J.B. Pritzker or like, Mayor Johnston from Denver, right? I think she's like slightly better, but in terms of governors, bro, Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and her, bro, they're about the same level of, I don't care about the United States of America or its people, right? Like, oh, I don't care about, making sure America is safe. That's kind of what I get when I hear her speak, as of right now, at least here, guys. But let's continue. We'll talk more later.
Focus now, Congressman Mast, Republican of the great state of Florida. Look, this is blatant. This is not America or
it's in your
America's
face.
first. Heck, it's not even the people in her own state first.
Right.
Your response.
It's illegals first, number one. You pointed that out rightly. What are those no-go zones that you were referencing? It's places like schools and hospitals. This is insanity to me. I'm a father of 4. I look at this and I say, you're going to say, send my kids to school, but for somebody that is an illegal, that school would be a sanctuary for youth MS-13 or something else. Or somebody that's at a hospital, the hospital would be a sanctuary for somebody suspected of assault that law enforcement can't go there. This is why I'm so proud to be a Floridian. You have these crazy policies, psychotic policies in New York where they're telling law enforcement, don't be against crime and we don't want your help in dealing with it. That's psychotic.
Yeah, and our audience saw you salute, of course, your military background. 20% of the U.S. Protection in this country, police forces, is former military like yourself. So this puts a lot of pressure on them as they won't be able to do their jobs. I want to get to this. An emotional hearing yesterday. Families of victims killed by illegal immigrants testifying about the human toll of Democrats' sanctuary policies. Let's watch.
A classmate of his asked him for a ride home, and unbeknownst to him, that classmate wanted to murder Josh so that he could scrap his truck for some money. This creates a hole in a family like you can never imagine. It will never be repaired here. Our lives will be different. It's like a bomb was dropped in our family.
Tell Hallie's brother that he's now an only child, all because an illegal immigrant that was allowed to live in a sanctuary city while breaking our laws repeatedly until she finally murdered someone with her reckless, selfish ways.
Well, after all of that, Democrat Hank Johnson went after Republicans for having the hearing at all. Republican Brandon Gill had some words following that. Watch.
We have had mass murder after mass murder in this country perpetrated by all kinds of people. But I just want to talk about those that have been perpetrated by white males. I'm not minimizing the tragedy that is before us today with you three women, but the other tragedies at the hands of non-immigrants, just as important.
That was one of the most disgusting testimonies I have ever heard. To have Hank come in here and lecture angel families about how they shouldn't be here, how we shouldn't be holding this hearing. What the hell is wrong with you guys?
Yeah. Okay. So, like, listen, a couple of you guys sent in a couple of those, the angel moms, basically speaking. We covered it yesterday, I think was. One is preventable. Okay. Like, and I think I even gave an analogy. Like, guys, if you get into some type of car accident or incident on the road here and something happens to you, trust me, it's worse if someone who's broken to our country has caused it. Why? Because that didn't have to happen because they didn't have to be here. All right. Like, this is what I'm trying to point out here. And I'm sure this is basically the same overall talking point that most of the people are basically coming from also.
Well, it's a great question. Did you hear Hank Johnson call the grieving moms, you three women?
Yep.
Wow.
You know, you look at this. I don't know every illegal that was that's killed somebody or every family that suffers. That's one of these angel families. But I know one story that I read about that was Richard Williams, Vietnam Air Force veteran, standing along train tracks and pushed onto the tracks and killed. It's just another one of those stories of what? A preventable death that leaves grieving families behind. Nobody cares about whether they're black, white, brown, or any other color. We know that it's preventable if they're in the United States of America illegally. We have a commitment to stop that. And you have people like Governor Hochul saying, no, we're not going to be against that crime because it's an illegal person. And we put politics first.
Well, and you
Right.
saw Hank Johnson there, too.
That's all that it is
He did
these
make
days.
it about race. He didn't make it about whether or not you're a U.S. citizen here illegally in this country. He decided to say, white men do this. Why even go there? Your last quick thought.
Because that's what they do.
I'll go bring it back to Governor Hochul real quick. You see in what she labels these illegals in New York, she calls them New Yorkers. She calls them New Yorkers to try and convolute the issue as though she's trying to help New Yorkers, trying to help Americans. No, she's trying to help everybody but the taxpayers of New York and the places that these illegals will travel to.
Well, and they have such a deficit because of the millions and even billions of dollars that they've spent in recent years on illegal immigrants in this country, in this state of New York, rather, where I sit. I don't live here, but I work here, that they can't even do the basics. The new mayor says it's going to take them until 2029 to build that free grocery store he promised, the socialist mayor. I mean, it's unbelievable. Congressman Mast, great to see you. Thank you.
The big takeaway here is it was preventable. And I'm sure we can all sit down, kind of regardless of whatever ideology you may be coming from. Hopefully you have the ability still to deal with some type of logic rather than this makes me feel bad, so I'm not going to talk about it. Hopefully we can all sit down and have a conversation about the idea of this is illegal under the guise of asylum fraud. Understand this here. So you're in the country here. You're waiting to get your deportation order because you lied here because you don't qualify for asylum, right? Either you're waiting for your deportation order or you have your deportation order and you're still hiding within the United States of America. It doesn't matter which way it is here. 80 to 90% of the people that have broken into our country over the last decade or so, are going to be removed. It is what it is here, guys. I mean, listen, asylum is asylum. Just because you cannot find a job in your home country, economic migrancy does not qualify for asylum. Guys, all right? So what's happening here? So when Kathy Hochul says we're going to go ahead and add protections, we're going to go ahead and expand the overall sanctuary policies into other arenas here. This just doesn't make it. This does not make any sense. Who are you protecting, Kathy Hochul? You're not protecting the people of New York. Guys, I'm so happy I left New York. And I mean this here. I'm so happy. I cannot imagine living in New York as a grown adult, bro. I'm just going to be honest. I can't. It just sounds too wild, right? I mean, why would you want to do that to yourself? Specifically, if your governor has no problem, basically, with stopping any type of actual criminality here. It seems very selective. If there is any more to the story, we're definitely going to go ahead and dig more into it, bro. But it's absolutely pitiful that the Democrats are basically coming out right now and trying to pivot the point here. Okay, because there's a big difference between an American doing something. Should they have done it? No, bro. They should have done. They stopped the criminality in general, basically, right? But when someone that has broken into our country commits a crime in our country, we should go harder with getting them out of the country, not adding additional protections for them. Okay. It's just illogical to me. It's just completely, it just does not make it makes zero sense. But either way, listen, again, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.